Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be discussing how I saved $309,000. Well, let me be a little bit more specific. $309,036.50 on my current mortgage. But who's keeping count, right? Anyways, let me take you back. We purchased a home about 2 years ago and some change. And obviously, if you guys know, the market has been absolutely horrible. There was no inventory, interest rate was up, and we just happened to have some money that we had been saving for about a year and a half. I was ready to have a home. I wanted to build some equity. When I say I want to build equity, I don't mean I want to build equity for the next 6 months. I'm thinking next 15, 20, 30 years. Also, I believe that owning a home, even though you never own it because you're always paying property taxes, it gives you a little bit more sense of security. But that's just me. I mean, I could be wrong. Well, let's get into the numbers. So I originally got a 30-year loan. We put down $100K, and the property was worth $720. That's what we paid for, right? And you guys know Seattle is really expensive, and that's just kind of the price you pay around here. I wanted to live close to where I work, and I also didn't want to be, in an unsafe area, and that's what it is. I know some people in other parts of the country are like, "That's insane. My house is only $200,000." Hey, we all want different things, and that's what I wanted. So, the breakdown was the scheduled payments $4,441. Principal for the first payment was going to be only $437 and $4,004 towards interest. Yeah, not the grade of, obviously the banks are the ones making the money at a 7.75 interest rate. Yes, I know some of you guys are like, that is insane. Well, at the end of the day, you're trying to get in the game. Now, the reason why I didn't care about the interest rate, although I should, is because I knew I was going to start making additional payments. Okay, so what I ended up doing was very simple. The first year, it was just keep my head above water. So I just wanted to save. Excuse the motorcycle. It was just to keep my head above water. That's all it was, right? So on the 12th month, that's when I really went ham. I said no more. And after 1 year, I ended up making a big down payment to the principal. And that was the kicker. That's the one that got me hooked and addicted to this. I made a $40,000 payment straight to principal only. That saved us $262,000 with $95.54. And most importantly, it got us ahead 68 payments. Crazy. That's the moment I knew I was like, okay, this is fun. It comes off to 6-7 years shaving off the loan. Now, if you hear me flipping some pages, it's because I'm looking at my mortgage amortization schedule to make sure that I get the numbers exactly to you guys. So that got us into that advancement. Then we ended up making an additional $2,500 additional principal payment after that. That saved us $14,712 in interest. Then I did another $2,000 the next month. That saved us around $7,316. As you guys can kind of see, the numbers are, changing quite a bit because I'm making additional payments to the principal. Then we did a $3,500. Now, if you guys are wondering, where do you get all this extra money? Like I said, my wife and I bring in about 14 and a half. We don't have any other loans. At the time, we didn't have the car payment. We got the car payment a year and a half later. And that's how we were able to make all these different payments. So $3,500 saves about $736. Then I did another $1,500. That was around $7,254 in savings, and so forth and so on. That's how we came up to the magical number of $309,000. Now you may be wondering, man, at this rate you're gonna pay it off really fast. Well, not really. So at the time, the last payment that we made, which was about a month ago, but in the amortization schedule, it was supposed to be June 1st, 2032. That means we owe about $557,000, $941 to the mortgage. That means we're paying $44.41. The principal was only $138, and then $3,603 was still going towards interest only. So you would be thinking, doesn't matter because you're already, moving ahead. You're gonna pay it off earlier. The only problem that we were facing was simple. I don't want a 30-year mortgage, obviously. So what I ended up doing, we refinanced just not too long ago, a couple months back, and our payment now. You would think that a normal person would say, "Let me go to a 30-year mortgage." No, that's not me. I'm not the normal person. Our interest rate now is at 5.7. So yes, it's still high compared to some of you guys. Lucky folks that had 2-3%. I'm happy for you guys. Um, but mine's at 5.7, and with the loan and the closing costs, it came up. Escrow, things like that, around 565,000. We also did a 15-year mortgage, no more 30. So instead of our payment going down 600, which that would have been the 30-year mortgage, our payment went up $200. You might be thinking, that's just a stupid way of doing it. You should have gone with the, 30-year mortgage. It gives you more breathing room, and then you can invest the rest. However, my goal is this 15-year mortgage. We're hoping to pay it off in, I'm thinking, 10 years. The previous video, I talked about how my goal is to reach $1 million, and that's how I'm going to plan on doing it. I'm going to put a lot of money into the principal, a little bit into the investing, although, it's kind of backwards. I just want to have a peace of mind to have my house paid off. It's not for everybody, I get it, but for me, I want to be able to pay this house off and then just worry about property taxes in the next 10-15 years. I don't see myself working till 65, not because I want to be in the couch eating chips and not doing anything, but more because I want to be able to have the ability to work in the job that I want, even if it's just serving coffee or being a host at a Walmart. I don't care. Anyways, I hope you guys like these numbers. Let me know what you think, and feel free to show off your nice interest rate at the comment section.